Between the social network and the faith network, there's a big difference. The first one will terminate by the death of the person. The second one never terminates. It remains until you enter paradise. The network between the believers is not only confined on life, but it remains. It's a lasting, everlasting faith network between faithful friends. See, you have a lively friend and a faithful friend. The lively friend is one who wants you for life. For life. But the friend of the hereafter, he wants to be with you in this life and in the hereafter. He is so ambitious to gain you in paradise. This is the good, righteous friend. The righteous friend keeps investigating about you. How? If you died and he knew you in life, he'll be waiting for you, that your spirit will be gathered with his spirit. Is that true? Yes. And at the day of judgment, if he entered paradise, Allah will let him remember you if you are in hell. God forbid. God forbid. If you may be a faithful person, but at the same time you committed adultery, you have taken pounds from here, dollars from there, mistakenly or deliberately, or your soul became weak in certain circumstances, certain sins. You've been watching something nasty, but you're still a believer. You committed adultery, you're still a believer. Even if you're gay, for example, you say, well, that's my problem, and I admit it. You're not disbeliever, you're still a believer, okay? So, despite these sins, which may qualify you to be lasting in hell for a period of time, and you're still a believer, in God's perspective, you are a believer. In such case, and there is a friend of you, a Muslim brother friend of you in life, who knew you in life, and he is in paradise, and you're in hell, God forbid, by God's mercy, God will be reminding him about you. Then you'll be arguing with God. He'll be arguing with God for your favor. Just like a partner arguing with his partner. This is what the Prophet said. This is what the Prophet said, that the believer in paradise, when he remembers his good Muslim brother who was with him in life, and he doesn't find him in paradise, then he'll be asking Allah about his Muslim brother. And if he knew that he's in hell, he'll be arguing with Allah about him. Arguing with Allah about him. Saying, oh Allah, brothers of us who used to be among us in life, fasting with us, praying with us, oh Allah, they may be in hell. Then Allah will be saying, go to hell and take out from hell whomever you knew. They'll be going to them, trying to verify them. They will verify them. How come? But they are in the furnace of hell. Yes, it is true. But there are things of the believer that hell will not touch. Number one, his images will remain. So that's how they'll be verifying them. Second, the spots of prostration of the Muslim will not be touched by hell, even if he is in hell, for the value of prostrating. For the value of prostrating. For the value of prostrating. Do you know what it means, prostrating to God? It is the utmost highness and pride, and the closest to God when you are the lowest on earth. Allahu Akbar. When you put your head on the ground, praising Allah in your prostration. So these spots of your front, forehead, your nose, your palms, your feet will not be touched by hell. So, right after you die, your friends, faithful friends, their spirits which are gathered in the height, somewhere in the heaven, once you die, your brothers will be asking about you. one who died before you among the community of believers. They'll be saying, what happened with so-and-so? Did he die? If he says, not yet, okay. If he said, yes, he died, they'll be saying, but we did not find him with us. Where is he? So they start to be worried about you. Allahu Akbar. So you friends on earth will be asking about you when they are in heaven. That's before the Day of Judgment. So if one of your friends died and his spirit was raised up to them, to his friends, if he knew that you died and he told them, they'll be saying to him, but he did not come to us yet. And when he entered Jannah, the believer will be asking Allah about you, arguing, I emphasize this, arguing with Allah about you. Then he'll be going to hell, try to find you. And if he found you being involved in a sin that Allah did not forgive, this is also of Allah's mercy, that Allah sends someone who care about you. And he'll be trying to find you in hell. And if he found you, he'll be taking you out as a believer. Because there is no one that deserves to be called a believer. And he is believer in Allah's perspective. Even if he goes to hell, he'll be a visitor, not resident. There's a difference between visitor and resident. So there is no believer who will become resident. That means staying in hell without going out from it. No. No. As long as he's a believer. So Allah will be saying to him, go to the fire and see whom you knew in life. Then the believer will be verifying, knowing his brother. When he recognizes him, he'll be taking him out. Oh, that's not enough. Then Allah will be ordering him again to go and check more. Then he will go again and he will find more. Then Allah will be saying to him for the third time, go to the hellfire and try and take out from hellfire whom you knew, until they will say, we swear by Allah, oh God, we do not recognize anyone in it among those whom we used to know in life. So now we know that the spirits of the believers gather. The spirits gather after the person dies. The spirits of the believers will be gathering together. That's why Ibn Taymiyyah said that the spirit remains after separating the body. Unlike what misleaders of misguidance or leaders of misguidance claim, philosophers, etc. He said that's not true. The spirits remain even when separating the body. Now let's see this narration, authentic narration by Abu Huraira, that the believer's spirit will be elevated to the heaven. Then the spirits of the believers will surround him and ask him about, those whom they used to know on earth. This hadith is authentic. Sheikh Albani said it is correct hadith. In his Sahihah, hadith number 2628. Now let's mention this hadith in details. It says that the believer, when the death start to, take place with him, and he suffers the agonies of death, and he wished that his soul will be exiting his body. And Allah loves to meet him. Allah loves to meet his believer, his servant believer, his believer servant. So the believer's spirit after his death will be raising up into heaven. Then the spirits of the believers will come to him and asking him about those whom they used to know on earth. If he said, I have left so and so in life, they'll be happy. But if he said, no, he died, then they'll be asking, but he did not come to us. He was not brought to us. They'll be worried about him. And the believer will be given a chance to sit, he'll be seated. And he'll be asked, who's your Lord? Then he says, Allah is my Lord. Then who's your prophet? Then he says, Muhammad is my prophet. What's your religion? Islam is my religion. A question seems to be very easy. I mean, who doesn't know this? But the answer will be given by the believer due to his practicing of these questions. That means a person who used not to be submissive to Allah, when he'll be asked, what was your religion? He'll be shackled from saying, Islam is my religion, because Islam means submission, and he was not submissive. Who's your prophet? The believers say, Muhammad is my prophet. But the one who disobeyed the prophet, did not pray, did not, etc., 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 he'll be asked, who's your prophet? He was about to say it, but he was shackled deliberately because he did not practice it. Then it will be said to him, look at your seat. So he'll be seen, his grave, as if it's been moments in the grave. Moments in the grave. But if he was an enemy of Allah, then the death will be surrounding him. Then he doesn't like that his spirit will be exiting his body, because he doesn't want to die. He hates to meet with Allah, and that's why Allah will be hating to meet with him. Then when he'll be seated in his grave, it will be said to him, who's your Lord? He says, I don't know. Who's your prophet? I don't know. What's your religion? I don't know. Well, he was about to say it. But finally he said, I don't know. I heard people saying something, and I was saying the like of it. I was only saying, it's only speech. But people are tested whether they practice or not. I mean, if they're tested whether they say something, it's easy for anyone to say, but to practice and act upon it, little are among those majority who say. Then it will be said to him, sleep like the manhush, the bit one, the bit person. Abu Hurairah was asked, what is the bit person? He said, he's bit by scorpions, by snakes, etc., etc. Then his grave will be narrowing on him until his bones will be crushing. In another narration, if the soul of the person had been taken out, separated the body, then the people of mercy among the servants of Allah will be meeting this as a person of good news. So, right after he died, and they meet with his spirit, they ask one another to give him break. Wait, they say, wait for your brother until he relaxes, because he was in misery. Just give him a chance. Now he's taking break. Now he's recovering. Now he's healing. Then they come to him and keep asking him, what about so and so person? What about that one? What about this? Then he says, yes, that person is still alive. Then they're happy. If he said to them, no, but this person died, they say, he died? But inna lillahi wa inna ilayhi raji'un, to Allah we belong, and to him is our return. Oh my God, he did not come to us. That means he's in hell. He's in hell. So This hadith is authentic. That shows that the believers should be seeking for themselves good, righteous, believing mates. Because this mate, he does not care about you only in life, but he cares about you for the next life. You will find him. You will find him for you. And even if he enters paradise and he doesn't find you there, he'll be arguing with Allah about you there. Compare this to the lively friend who wants you maybe to play cards with you, to chat with you, to waste time with you, to share with you online games or etc. This is a friend, but he's not that friend whom you'll be needing if you are in trouble at the day of judgment. So pick up from now for you, for yourself, a good, righteous, faithful friend. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah.